Out of fear of who was following her, she threw herself to hug a total stranger. What would you do if a single embrace with a stranger destroyed everything you knew about safety and desire? The rain hammers Seoul's Gangnam district like bullets against bulletproof glass. Neon signs bleed crimson and gold across puddles that mirror a city built on secrets. In this moment, Selene Adegoke is running, designer heels clutched in one hand, her heart a war drum against her ribs. She doesn't know she's being followed. Not yet. 3 men in black suits move through the crowd like sharks through water. Their eyes are dead. Their hands rest inside jackets where metal waits, cold and patient. They're closing in on a woman who witnessed something she shouldn't have. A handshake outside Club Aurelius, a briefcase exchange, a face she'll never forget. Selene's natural Nigerian boldness feels like a liability now. Her impulsive decision to cut through the alley behind the luxury district, "Faster this way, Selene, don't be scared," now seems catastrophically stupid. The kind of stubborn choice her mother warned her about before she left Lagos for Seoul's fashion industry 3 years ago. The alley narrows. The footsteps behind her quicken. And then she sees him. A man standing beneath a broken streetlight, perfectly still in a charcoal Tom Ford suit that probably costs more than her yearly rent. Even in shadow, he's devastating, sharp jawline, dark eyes that could cut glass, lips pressed into a line that suggests he's never smiled and never will. His presence radiates the kind of dangerous calm that makes prey freeze. Kang Min-ho, Billionaire, Ghost, the invisible emperor of Seoul's underworld. But Selene doesn't know this. She only knows she needs help. "Pretend to hug me," she whispers breathlessly, stumbling toward him with wild desperation in her golden brown eyes. She doesn't realize the stranger is a billionaire who will change her life forever. She doesn't realize she's just thrown herself into the arms of the most dangerous man in South Korea. Min-ho's dark eyes flicker, the first sign of surprise he's shown in 5 years. This bold, beautiful woman with box braids adorned with gold cuffs, this creature of fire and reckless courage, just collided with ice incarnate. For 3 seconds the world holds its breath. Then his arms close around her like a cage made of warmth and steel. His cologne, sandalwood and something darker, more primal, envelopes her. Against her ear, his voice emerges low and devastatingly calm. "Don't move. Don't speak. And don't look at them." The 3 men appear at the alley's entrance. They see the embrace. They see Min-ho's face. And they vanish like smoke, terror in their retreat. Selene's breath comes in shudders against his chest. She can feel his heartbeat, steady, unhurried, absolutely controlled. Everything she is not. "Who are you?" she whispers. Min-ho's arms don't release her. Not yet. Because in this moment, something unprecedented is happening to the man who controls Seoul's billion-dollar criminal empire with mathematical precision. He's intrigued. "Someone you should run from," he says quietly. "But you won't." He's right. And that's where this dark romance begins, with a pretend embrace that becomes devastatingly real. Could one desperate hug rewrite 2 destinies? Keep listening to find out. Selene Adegoke didn't come to Seoul to be careful. She came to conquer. 27 years old, Lagos bred, Yoruba to her bones, she arrived in South Korea 3 years ago with a fashion degree, 2 suitcases, and the kind of stubborn confidence that makes people either love you or want to destroy you. Her mother's parting words echo sometimes, "Selene, omomi, your mouth will get you in trouble. Your heart is too big, your temper too quick." But that fire made her successful. As a fashion consultant for Korean celebrities, she's built a reputation for bold vision and fearless authenticity. She doesn't code switch. She doesn't dim herself. When Korean fashion houses wanted exotic, without substance, she told them exactly where to shove their tokenism. In fluent Korean peppered with Yoruba phrases when she's angry. That impulsiveness, that refusal to be silent. It's why she noticed the exchange outside Club Aurelius tonight. Why she stopped and stared when she should have walked away. Why she memorized the face of the man receiving the briefcase filled with something that glittered like diamonds and smelled like blood money. Now, in Min-ho's arms, she's discovering that fire can be dangerous when it meets something colder and infinitely more powerful. "You can let go now," she says against his chest, trying to steady her breathing. They're gone. But Min-ho doesn't release her. Not immediately. His hands rest against the small of her back with calculated pressure. Not intimate, but not impersonal either. Like he's memorizing her shape, cataloging her as data. Who were they? His voice is Seoul winter. Beautiful, brutal, patient. "I don't know." Selene pulls back and this time he allows it. She looks up at him properly now and the full impact hits her. He's gorgeous in a way that seems genetically unfair. High cheekbones, skin like porcelain, dark eyes that reveal nothing. But it's not his beauty that makes her stomach tighten. It's the intelligence behind those eyes. The calculation. I saw something I shouldn't have. They chased me. You saved me. Saved you. Min-ho repeats it like he's tasting a foreign word. The corner of his mouth might have moved. Might have been a smile. Might have been contempt. Interesting interpretation. He reaches into his jacket. Selene tenses and produces a business card. Matte black. Minimalist silver text. Kang Min-ho. Private investments. If they come back, call this number. Someone will handle it. Handle it how? Selene's natural boldness resurfaces, her chin lifting. And who the hell are you? Some kind of Korean Batman? Now Min-ho definitely doesn't smile. But something flickers in his eyes. Amusement? Interest? Before she can identify it, he's already walking away, moving with the kind of predatory grace that suggests violence is always an option, just never necessary. Wait. Selene calls after him, her stubbornness overriding common sense. I didn't even thank you properly. At least tell me your name, your real name, not whatever corporate nonsense is on this card. He pauses. Turns his head just slightly, profile cut from shadows and streetlight. You already know it. You just don't know what it means yet. Then he's gone, swallowed by Seoul's midnight labyrinth. Selene stands in the empty alley, rain-soaked, heart racing, holding a black business card that feels heavier than it should. She doesn't know that she's just met Seoul's most dangerous man. She doesn't know that Kang Min-ho, billionaire, genius, ghost, controls everything from real estate to politicians to the flow of illegal diamonds through East Asia. She doesn't know that in exactly 48 hours she'll discover the truth. And by then it will be far too late to walk away. Min-ho's penthouse overlooks Seoul like a god surveying his kingdom. Floor-to-ceiling windows frame the city's arteries, highways pulsing with light, districts breathing in rhythm to money and power. The interior is museum-stark, black marble, chrome, art pieces worth millions. Everything precise. Everything controlled. Just like him. He stands before those windows now, whiskey untouched in his hand, replaying the alley encounter with the precision of security footage. Her face. Her desperation melting into defiance. The way she fit against him for those 3 seconds. Warm, alive, chaotic. Everything he spent 15 years eliminating from his existence. You're distracted. The voice comes from the shadows near the door. Ji-hun, Min-ho's second-in-command and closest thing to a friend, emerges with a tablet. The shipment from Antwerp arrives tomorrow. The Russians are demanding reassurances. And you're standing here thinking about a woman. Min-ho's expression doesn't change. It never does. Her name? Selene Adegoke. Nigerian national, fashion consultant, clean record. No connection to any organizations. She was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Ji-hun pauses. The men following her were Choi's people. They saw her witness the exchange with Nakamura. You saved a liability. Then eliminate the liability. The words are automatic. Standard protocol. Min-ho has ordered worse for less. But Ji-hun is watching him carefully. You gave her your private number. Silence. The kind that fills penthouses and threatens empires. She's stubborn, Min-ho finally says, still facing the window. Impulsive. She'll investigate what she saw. Better to control the narrative than let Choi write it in her blood. It's logical. Strategic. Absolutely plausible. And completely untrue. The truth is something Min-ho doesn't acknowledge even to himself. For 3 seconds in that alley, holding a desperate stranger who smelled like cocoa butter and jasmine, he felt something he'd surgically removed from his psychology a decade ago. Curiosity. Not about what she knew. About who she was. This bold, beautiful woman who said, "Pretend to hug me," like she was ordering coffee, who looked at him afterward with zero recognition of his power, who called him Korean Batman with genuine indignation. In Min-ho's world, everyone knows who he is. Everyone fears him. Everyone wants something. She wanted nothing. Knew nothing. Feared nothing. It was intoxicating. Monitor her, Min-ho instructs, voice returning to its usual glacial efficiency. If Choi makes another move, intervene. Discreetly. And if she calls your number? For the first time in their 15-year association, Ji-hun sees something unprecedented. Kang Min-ho hesitates. Then we'll see how curious she really is. Selene can't sleep. At 3 a.m., she's in her small Itaewon apartment, researching. Her laptop glows in the darkness, illuminating her face, beautiful even in exhaustion, gold nose ring catching the light, braids piled high in a messy bun. Kang Min-ho. The search results are strange, sparse, carefully curated. CEO of Kang Enterprises, private equity, real estate, reclusive billionaire. Photos at charity galas where he looks bored and devastating in tuxedos. But nothing real, nothing human. It's like reading a resume written by a ghost. "Who are you?" she whispers to his image on screen. Her phone buzzes. Unknown number. Stop searching. It's not safe. Celine's heart kicks. She types back with impulsive fury, "Who is this? How did you get my number?" The response is immediate. "You gave it to me. On Tuesday. At the cafe. You said I could text you anytime." Chioma. Her friend. False alarm. But her hands are shaking. She looks at Min-ho's business card on her desk. The private number. Against every survival instinct, she picks up her phone and dials. It rings once. "You should be sleeping." His voice is the same, controlled, dark, somehow intimate even through digital distance. "You're having me watched." Not a question. Celine's anger surfaces hot and immediate. "How else would you know I'm researching you? You're intelligent, curious, stubborn. It was predictable." Pause. "The question is why you're still curious after 2 days. Most people would be grateful and move on." "I'm not most people." "No." Something in his voice shifts, still controlled but warmer somehow. "You're absolutely not." Silence stretches between them. Selene can hear her own heartbeat, can imagine him in some ridiculous billionaire penthouse, probably surrounded by minimalist furniture and existential emptiness. "Those men," she finally says, "they weren't random muggers. What did I see that night?" "Nothing that concerns you." "Bullshit." The Yoruba fire erupts. "They chased me for 15 minutes through Gangnam. I could have died. I deserve to know." "You deserve to forget." His voice drops, becomes something darker, more dangerous. "Selene, this is me being kind. Walk away. Delete my number. Pretend that night never happened. Because if you keep pulling this thread, you'll unravel something that will destroy you." It's a threat. A warning. And somehow, impossibly, it sounds like concern. "Are you a criminal?" She asks it directly, heart hammering. "Is that what this is? Some Korean mafia bullshit?" The silence that follows is answer enough. "Good night, Selene." Min-ho's voice is final. "Don't call this number again." He hangs up. Selene stares at her phone, breathing hard. She should be terrified. She should block the number, maybe leave Seoul entirely. But that stubborn Adegoke pride is burning in her chest, mixing with something more dangerous: intrigue, attraction, the forbidden pull of dark romance and dangerous men. She looks at Min-ho's photo on her laptop. Drop-dead gorgeous, stoic, unreadable, possibly a crime lord. "Korean Batman," she whispers. "What the hell have I gotten myself into?" Outside her window, Seoul breathes its neon breath. And in the shadows of a building across the street, one of Min-ho's men watches her apartment, under orders to protect her. Whether she wants protection or not. The second encounter, 12 to 1500 hours. 48 hours later, Celine's life explodes. She's at a celebrity fitting routine job, high-profile client, Seoul Fashion Week preparation. The client is Lee Yoona, Korea's biggest actress, known for her elegance and her mysterious private life. The fitting is at a luxury hotel suite in Gangnam, and Selene is in her element, confident, commanding, draping fabric with artist's hands. The neckline should be lower, Selene instructs in perfect Korean, her accent carrying that distinctive Nigerian-Korean blend that makes her memorable. "You're not a virgin at a church service, Uni. You're a goddess at a gala." Yoona laughs, genuine, warm. "This is why I love you. You don't treat me like porcelain." The door opens. Selene glances up casually, then freezes. Kang Min-ho stands in the doorway. Same devastating beauty. Same unreadable expression. But now he's in daylight, in context, and the full reality of his presence hits differently. He commands space like gravity commands planets. And he's looking directly at her. Min-ho SSI. Yuna's entire demeanor shifts, respect mixed with something else. Fear. "I didn't know you were coming. This is just a fitting?" "I'm aware." His eyes never leave Selene. "I came to meet your stylist." The temperature in the room drops 15 degrees. Yoona looks between them, confusion blooming into understanding into concern. "You know each other?" "We've met." Min-ho steps inside and Selene notices two things. First, he moves like violence is a language he's fluent in. Second, everyone else in the room, Yoona, the assistants, the security, looks absolutely terrified. Who the hell is this man? "Can I speak with Ms. Adegoke privately?" It's phrased as a question. It's absolutely a command. Yuna nods rapidly. Of course. We'll step outside. She touches Selene's arm as she passes, brief, warning, almost maternal. Then she's gone, and Selene is alone with Seoul's invisible emperor. You're stalking me now? Selene's voice is steady despite her racing heart. Breaking into my work appointments? Lee Yuna is a client. I'm investing in her production company. This is business. Min-ho closes the distance between them with measured steps. Though your presence here is an interesting coincidence. Coincidence? Selene laughs, sharp and incredulous. Nothing about you is coincidence. You probably knew I'd be here. Perhaps. He stops 2 feet away. Close enough that she can smell that sandalwood cologne again, mixed with something crisp, bergamot maybe, or the scent of expensive control. This close, she can see the details. The precision of his tailoring, the Patek Philippe watch that costs more than her life, the faint scar above his left eyebrow that suggests his perfect face has history. Why are you here, Min-ho SSI? She uses the honorific with just enough sarcasm to make it a challenge. To make you an offer. I'm not interested in 1,000,001. To forget everything about that night. His voice is business efficient, emotionless. You saw nothing. You know nothing. You walk away and live your life. Selene stares at him. 1,000,001. About $800 USD. For her silence. For a moment she's genuinely speechless. Then the fire returns, explosive and magnificent. You arrogant. She switches to English, then Yoruba, then back to Korean, all fury and eloquence. You think you can buy me? Like I'm some problem to solve with money? I don't know what kind of criminal empire you're running, but I'm not some scared little. 10 million. She stops. 10,000,001. $8,000. Her rent for 6 months. You're not listening, she says slowly, dangerously. I don't want your money. Everyone wants money. I want the truth. She steps closer, and now they're in each other's space, fire meeting ice, chaos challenging control. What was in that briefcase? Why did those men chase me? And why? Her voice drops, becomes something more vulnerable. Why are you protecting me? Min-ho's expression doesn't change. But his eyes are doing something complicated. Calculating. Measuring. Seeing her, really seeing her, in a way that feels more intimate than any touch. You're stubborn, he finally says. I'm Nigerian. It's genetic. You're impulsive. I prefer spontaneous. You're going to get yourself killed. Then stop being so mysterious and tell me the truth. The silence that follows is electrical. Dangerous. The kind of tension that precedes either violence or something infinitely more complicated. Min-ho reaches out, slowly, deliberately, and takes a strand of her gold-adorned braids between his fingers. The gesture is possessive and curious and completely unexpected. Selene's breath catches. The truth, he says quietly, his voice dropping to that dark register that makes her stomach tighten, is that you're a liability. A witness. A complication in a world that eliminates complications. The truth is I should have killed you in that alley. It would have been cleaner. Safer. Smarter. He releases her braid. Steps back. Becomes ice again. But I didn't. And now you're a problem I can't solve with the usual methods. So here's my final offer. You accept my protection. You let my people watch your apartment, escort you to appointments, keep you safe from men like Choi who would torture you for information and dispose of you like garbage. In exchange, you stop investigating. You stop asking questions. You trust me. Trust you. Selene's laugh is bitter. I don't even know you. No, Min-ho agrees. But you will. He turns to leave and Selene feels something desperate claw at her chest. This dangerous man, this beautiful mystery, is walking away and she's somehow certain that if she lets him, she'll regret it for the rest of her life. Wait. The word escapes before she can stop it. He pauses. Doesn't turn around. If I agree, if I accept your protection, do I get to see you again? The question hangs in the air like a confession. Min-ho turns his head just slightly, profile sharp enough to cut. Would you want to? I don't know, Selene admits honestly. You terrify me. But you also. She struggles for the word. Intrigue me. And I've never been good at walking away from things that intrigue me. For the first time since she met him, Kang Min-ho smiles. It's small, brief, devastating, like watching a statue learn to breathe. Then yes, Selene Adegoke. You'll see me again. He leaves. And Selene stands alone in the luxury suite, heart racing, hands shaking, knowing with absolute certainty that her life just changed forever. She's fallen into a dark romance with a billionaire mafia boss. And God help her, she wants to fall deeper. Within 24 hours, Selene's life is invaded by invisible security. She notices them first at the cafe where she gets her morning Americano. A man in a gray suit, too alert, eyes scanning the room with professional efficiency. Then at the subway station. A different man, same energy, maintaining distance but always present. By evening, when she returns to her apartment, there's a black Mercedes idling across the street. She storms outside in her pajamas, silk shorts and a tank top with Lagos No Day Carry Last printed across the chest. The driver's window lowers. The man inside is stone-faced, early 30s, built like he breaks bones for cardio. "Are you seriously watching my apartment?" Selene demands in Korean. "Tell Min-ho this is creepy stalker behavior, not protection. Mr. Kang instructed us to maintain your safety, Ms. Adegoke." "I don't need." "2 nights ago, 3 men attempted to access your building. We deterred them." His voice is flat, factual. "Last night, someone hacked your building's security system. We prevented entry. This morning, your name appeared on a dark web forum offering 10 million won for your location. We removed it." Selene's anger evaporates into ice water. "What? You're not safe. Mr. Kang's protection is the only reason you're still alive." The window rises. Conversation over. She stumbles back inside, hands shaking. 10 million won for her location. The same amount Min-ho offered her for silence. This isn't a game. This is life and death. Her phone rings. His number. "Your men are terrifying," she answers instead of hello. "They're effective." Min-ho's voice carries that same calm that somehow makes her feel safe and endangered simultaneously. "You have questions?" "About 1,000. I'll answer 3. Choose carefully." Selene sits on her couch, draws her knees to her chest. Outside, Seoul glitters with oblivious normalcy, people living safe, boring lives. "Who wants me dead?" "The man you saw that night. Park Choi. He runs smuggling operations, diamonds, weapons, people. You witnessed a transaction that could destroy his empire if testimony reached the right authorities. He can't risk your existence." Question 2. "Why do you care if I live or die?" Silence. Longer than before. When Min-ho speaks again, his voice carries something she hasn't heard before: uncertainty. "I don't know." The honesty shocks her. This controlled, calculated man admitting he doesn't know something. Question 3. Selene says softly. "Are you going to kill Park Choi? Would it bother you if I did?" "I don't know," she echoes his earlier admission. "Should it?" "Yes, it should bother you, Selene. Because if it doesn't, then you're already becoming something you're not. And that would be a waste of remarkable fire." He hangs up. And Selene sits in the darkness of her apartment, protected by killers, desired by a criminal empire, and impossibly drawn to a man who speaks in riddles and wears danger like expensive cologne. Her phone buzzes. A text from Min-ho's number. "Dinner. Tomorrow. 8 p.m. I'll send a car. Wear something that makes you feel powerful. You'll need it." She should decline. Should run. Should call the police. Instead, she texts back, "I always feel powerful. It's genetic." His response comes immediately, "Then I'll try to keep up." And despite everything, the danger, the fear, the absolute insanity of this situation, Selene smiles. The restaurant is the kind that doesn't have a name. Just an address in Gangnam that the merely wealthy don't know exists. Private rooms. Michelin stars. The kind of place where Korea's real power brokers make decisions that reshape economies. Selene arrives in a dress that's pure defiance. Emerald green, fitted, with traditional Nigerian geli head wrap styled modern and fierce. Gold jewelry catches candlelight. She looks like royalty. Acts like it too, ignoring the maitre d's barely concealed surprise at her blackness, her boldness, her refusal to shrink. "Mr. Kang is expecting you." She's led through corridors of wealth and silence to a private room overlooking Seoul's night symphony. And there he is. Min-ho stands as she enters. Impeccable in a black suit, no tie, shirt collar open just enough to seem almost human. His eyes track her entrance with an intensity that makes her feel seen, catalogued, desired. "You look." He pauses, searching for a word. "Dangerous." "Good." Selene sits without waiting for assistance. "Because I'm about to ask dangerous questions." A ghost of a smile. "I expected nothing less." The meal is an intricate dance. Course after course of perfection. Korean delicacies and unexpected Nigerian fusion that suggests Min-ho researched her background with obsessive thoroughness. They talk around the important things at first. her work in fashion, his investments, the art of living between cultures. But halfway through the fourth course, Selene sets down her chopsticks. Tell me about your scar. Min-ho's hand moves unconsciously to his left eyebrow, the faint line she noticed before. Which version do you want? The one I tell business associates or the truth? I'm not a business associate. No, he agrees quietly. You're something far more complicated. He leans back and for the first time his control seems to crack at the edges. My father gave me this scar. I was 14. He was teaching me a lesson about weakness. About what happens when you show emotion in our world. His eyes meet hers, dark, infinite, haunted. I haven't cried since. Haven't shown fear. Haven't loved. Haven't lived anything that wasn't calculated for maximum efficiency. That's horrifying. That's survival. My father built this empire on blood and strategy. When he died, I inherited both. Now I control more money, more power, more violence than you can imagine. And I do it without hesitation because hesitation gets you killed. He pauses. Until 5 days ago. What happened 5 days ago? A stubborn Nigerian woman asked me to pretend to hug her. And I hesitated. For 3 seconds I felt something I'd eliminated from my psychology. His voice drops, becomes intimate. Curiosity about another human being. Interest in her survival beyond strategic value. The desire to see her again without logical justification. Selene's breath catches. Min-ho. You asked for truth. Here it is. You're dangerous to me, Selene. You make me question choices I've lived by for 15 years. You make me want things that will get both of us killed. And I can't seem to stop myself from pursuing this. He gestures between them. Whatever this is. The vulnerability in his admission is staggering. This man who controls Seoul's underworld admitting weakness. Admitting desire. Selene reaches across the table. Takes his hand. His skin is warm, surprisingly gentle despite the violence it's inflicted. I'm scared, she admits. Of you. Of this world. Of what wanting you might cost me. You should be. But I'm also. She struggles for honesty. I'm also the happiest I've been since moving to Seoul. These past days, even with the danger, maybe because of it, I felt alive. See. Like I matter beyond what I can do for people. Her eyes meet his. You make me feel like I'm worth protecting. Not because I'm useful, but because I'm me. Min-ho's thumb traces circles on her palm. The gesture is gentle, almost reverent, completely at odds with his reputation. You matter, he says quietly. More than you know. More than is safe. They sit in charged silence, hands joined across expensive porcelain and forbidden connection. Outside, Seoul pulses with oblivious life. Inside this room, two people from impossible worlds acknowledge what they've been avoiding. This is attraction. This is obsession. This is the beginning of a dark romance that will either save them or destroy them. I want to know everything about you, Selene says. The real you. Not the billionaire. Not the criminal. The man who hesitated in an alley. That man doesn't exist anymore. Liar. She squeezes his hand. He's sitting right here holding my hand, looking at me like I'm something precious. Show me more of him. Min-ho's expression does something complicated, pain and hope warring behind those controlled features. Then he stands, still holding her hand. Come with me. I want to show you something. He leads her out of the restaurant, past his security team into his private elevator. They rise through Seoul's vertical wealth, floor after floor, until they reach his penthouse. The doors open to devastating beauty, that museum-stark interior she imagined, but softer in person. Through those massive windows, Seoul sprawls like a living painting. This is where I exist, Min-ho says, releasing her hand. Alone. Controlled. Safe from anything resembling feeling. He walks to the windows and Selene follows. They stand side by side looking out at the city. After my father died, I designed this space to eliminate distraction. No photographs. No sentimental objects. Nothing that could make me weak. He glances at her. But lately I keep imagining what it would look like with your gold jewelry on the counter. Your braids left on my pillow. Your fire making this cold space livable. Selene's heart is thunder. Min-ho. I'm telling you this because you deserve honesty before you decide if you want to stay. He turns to face her fully. I'm a criminal, Selene. I've killed people. I've destroyed lives. I control an empire built on violence and amorality. Dating me means accepting that darkness. Accepting that any morning I might not come home. Accepting that loving me makes you a target. And if I accept all that? Her voice is barely a whisper. Then I'll spend every remaining day proving you didn't make a mistake. His hand comes up to cup her face, the first truly intimate touch between them. His thumb brushes her cheekbone with devastating gentleness. I'll protect you with everything I have. I'll show you parts of me no one else sees. I'll give you every piece of myself that hasn't been destroyed by this life. That's a dangerous promise. I'm a dangerous man. They're so close now. His breath mingles with hers. His eyes search her face with desperate intensity, this controlled man coming undone in real time. Selene, he whispers. Tell me to stop. Tell me this is insane and walk away. Because if you let this happen, I won't be able to let you go. She should walk away. Should run. Should choose safety over this beautiful, dangerous man. Instead, she rises on her toes and kisses him. Is gentle at first, a question, an answer, a promise. Then his control shatters. His arms wrap around her waist, pulling her against him as the kiss deepens into something consuming. Fire meeting ice, melting into steam. She tastes like cocoa butter and wine and reckless courage. He tastes like sandalwood and darkness and unexpected tenderness. When they finally break apart, both breathing hard, Min-ho rests his forehead against hers. You're going to ruin me, he whispers. Good, Selene whispers back. You need ruining. And in that moment, standing in a billionaire's penthouse with Seoul glittering below, fire and ice become something new. A dark romance that will either redeem them or burn them both to ash. For 2 weeks, Selene exists in a fever dream of forbidden romance and escalating danger. Days are hers, work, friends, the careful maintenance of normalcy. But nights belong to Min-ho. Private dinners where he teaches her about his world's complex honor codes. Midnight drives through Seoul's emptiest streets. Long conversations in his penthouse where he gradually reveals the man beneath the monster. His love of classical music, his photographic memory, his secret guilt about the violence his empire requires. He touches her like she's sacred. Kisses her like she's oxygen. Looks at her with an intensity that suggests he's memorizing her existence in case it's temporary. But Selene notices things. The way his phone buzzes constantly with messages he won't explain. The nights he disappears for hours, returning with blood on his cufflinks that he thinks she doesn't see. The conversations that stop abruptly when she enters rooms. She's falling in love with a ghost who won't let her see all his shadows. It reaches a breaking point on a Thursday night. Selene is at Min-ho's penthouse, wearing one of his shirts and nothing else, cooking jollof rice in his sterile kitchen, bringing Lagos warmth into Seoul coldness. She's humming a Wizkid song, completely at home in this space that was designed to prevent exactly this kind of domestic intimacy. Min-ho watches her from the doorway and his expression is devastating, longing mixed with something like grief. As if he's already mourning this before it ends. What's wrong? Selene asks, catching his reflection in the window. Nothing. The lie is automatic. She turns off the stove. Turns to face him. Min-ho, don't do that. Don't shut me out. I'm not. You are. She approaches him, still barefoot, still drowning in his shirt. For 2 weeks you've given me pieces of yourself. But there's a wall you won't let me past. And I need to know, is it because you don't trust me or because you're protecting me from something? He's silent. That terrible, calculated silence. It's Park Choi, isn't it? Selene's intelligence, the same stubborn curiosity that got her into this, connects dots he wished would stay separate. He's escalating. The men watching my apartment, the increased security, the nights you disappear. You're at war. Selene. Don't lie to me. Her fire erupts, magnificent and furious. I'm not some delicate flower who needs protecting from reality. I'm Nigerian. We're born understanding that life is complicated and dangerous and unfair. I can handle the truth. Can you? Min-ho's control finally cracks and what emerges is raw and terrible. Can you handle knowing that yesterday I ordered the execution of 3 men? That I watched them die and felt nothing? Can you handle knowing that Choi has put a 50 million won bounty on your head, and the only thing keeping you alive is my reputation for making examples of people who cross me? His voice drops, becomes something broken. Can you handle knowing that every night I hold you, I'm calculating probabilities? 63% chance Choi attacks within the month. 47% chance he uses you to get to me. 32% chance you die because you met me in an alley and I was selfish enough to let you into my life instead of eliminating the threat. The numbers hang in the air like gravestones. Selene stares at him, and for the first time since they met, she sees the full reality of Kang Min-ho. Not a romantic anti-hero, but a man so damaged by violence that he calculates his lover's death probability like it's stock market analysis. You think in percentages, she says quietly. Even about me. I think in survival. It's all I know. No. She closes the distance between them and her hands frame his face, forcing him to look at her, really look at her. You know more than that. You know how to be gentle. How to laugh at my terrible Korean puns. How to hold me like I matter more than strategy. Her voice cracks. Don't reduce us to mathematics, Min-ho. We're more than risk assessment. Are we? His eyes are infinite darkness. Or am I just a dangerous obsession you'll regret? Maybe both, Selene admits. Maybe that's what dark romance is, choosing love even when it's dangerous. Even when it's probably stupid. Even when the percentages say run. She kisses him softly. I'm choosing this. I'm choosing you. Stop trying to protect me from yourself. For a long moment, Min-ho doesn't move. Then his arms wrap around her with desperate strength, and he buries his face in her neck, this controlled man finally surrendering to feeling. I'm terrified, he whispers against her skin. I haven't been terrified since I was 14. But the thought of losing you, it's like learning fear for the first time. Then let's be terrified together. They hold each other in the sterile kitchen, jollof rice cooling on the stove, Seoul glittering beyond the windows. Two damaged people choosing each other despite impossible odds. But outside that moment of intimacy, reality is closing in. Min-ho's phone buzzes. He pulls it out and Selene watches his expression shift, control slamming back into place like armor. What is it? Choi made his move. Min-ho's voice is ice again. He kidnapped someone. Leverage. Who? He looks at her and in his eyes she sees the answer before he says it. Your best friend. Chioma. The world stops. Selene's phone is in her hand immediately, dialing Chioma's number. Straight to voicemail. Again. Her hands are shaking, her breath coming in sharp gasps. Where is she? Min-ho, where? I don't know yet. My people are tracking. He's already moving, grabbing his jacket, becoming the billionaire Mafia boss instead of her lover. Jihan is coordinating with our contacts. We'll find her. This is my fault. Selene's voice breaks. She's in danger because of me. Because I couldn't walk away from you. Min-ho stops. Turns. His expression is complicated, guilt and determination and something fiercer. No. This is my fault. I brought you into this world. I let my interest override strategy. I chose selfishly. He approaches her and his hand cups her face with devastating tenderness. But I will fix this. I will get your friend back safely. I promise you. And if you can't? Then I'll burn Choi's entire empire to the ground and salt the earth where it stood. It's not a metaphor. It's a promise of violence delivered with terrifying calm. I'm coming with you, Selene says. Absolutely not. She's my best friend. Fire meets ice again, explosive and immovable. I'm not sitting here while she's terrified somewhere. I'm Nigerian, Min-ho. We don't abandon our people. Either you take me with you or I go alone, but I'm going. They stare at each other, stubborn meeting stubborn, love complicating logic. Finally Min-ho nods. Stay close to me. Do exactly what I say. And Selene? His voice drops. What you're about to see, this is who I really am. The monster under the gentleman. If you come with me tonight, you can't unsee it. I don't want to unsee it, Selene says firmly. I want to see all of you. Even the parts that scare me. Then let's go to war. He takes her hand, this beautiful, dangerous man and his bold, stubborn woman, and they walk toward violence together. The dark romance is about to become darker. But their love? Their love is about to be tested by fire and blood and the terrible choices that define who we really are when everything is at stake. Will their forbidden love survive the coming storm? Stay with us to find out. The warehouse district is where Seoul keeps its ugliest secrets. Industrial decay, rusted metal, the smell of chemicals and desperation. Min-ho's convoy arrives like an invading army, black SUVs, men with weapons, precision that speaks of military training. Selene watches from inside the vehicle, dressed now in dark clothes Min-ho's people provided. Her heart hammers against her ribs. This is real. This is happening. Min-ho sits beside her, utterly transformed. Gone is the gentle lover who kissed her in his kitchen. In his place, a predator. Cold. Calculating. Weapon efficient. He's checking his gun with casual expertise, and the sight should terrify her. It does. But it also reminds her why she's alive. Choi is inside, Jihan reports from the front seat. 12 men. Chioma is confirmed alive, second floor, northeast corner. Defenses. Standard. Overconfident. He thinks you won't risk open war. Min-ho's smile is blade thin. Then let's educate him. He turns to Selene. You stay in this vehicle. Bulletproof glass, panic button here. If anything goes wrong, Jihan drives you to the safe house. Understood. Min-ho. Understood. His voice is command, not request. Yes. The word tastes like surrender, but Selene forces it out. Because she knows, intellectually, that she'd only be a liability in combat. Min-ho cups her face. Kisses her, deep, possessive, almost desperate. Like it might be the last time. I love you, he says against her lips. I should have said it before. But I love you, Selene Adegoke. And I will come back to you. Then he's gone, moving with his team toward the warehouse like smoke and violence. Selene watches through the window as they breach the entrance. Gunfire erupts, sharp, rhythmic, controlled. She flinches at every shot, her hands gripping the seat, imagining bullets finding Min-ho's body. Minutes stretch like hours. Then her phone buzzes. Unknown number. She shouldn't answer. But what if it's about Chioma? Hello? Ms. Adegoke. The voice is smooth, cultured, evil. Park Choi. Enjoying the show? Her blood turns to ice. Where's my friend? Safe. For now. Your boyfriend is quite efficient. He's already killed 6 of my men. Impressive. But here's the thing about men like Kang Min-ho. They calculate everything except their own weaknesses. Pause. You're his weakness. What do you want? Simple exchange. You for your friend. Walk into the warehouse, second entrance, alone. I'll release the Nigerian girl. Everyone wins. You'll kill me. Probably, Choi admits cheerfully. But at least your friend survives. And Min-ho learns a valuable lesson about the price of sentimentality. So what's it going to be, Ms. Adegoke? Are you as brave as you pretend? He hangs up. Selene stares at the phone, heart racing, mind spinning. This is the moment. The choice that defines everything. She could stay safe. Let Min-ho handle this. Trust his violence and precision. Or she could save Chioma herself. Accept the sacrifice. Be the bold, impulsive Nigerian woman who doesn't hide while her friend suffers. It's not even a question. She opens the vehicle door. Jihan's voice crackles over the radio. Ms. Adegoke, stay in there? But she's already running toward the second entrance, her feet pounding pavement, her heart screaming at her to stop even as her stubborn Adegoke pride drives her forward. The door is unlocked. Of course it is. It's a trap. She enters anyway. The interior is dimly lit, industrial. Stairs lead upward. She climbs them, each step feeling like walking toward her own execution. Second floor. Northeast corner. And there she is, Chioma. Tied to a chair, bruised but alive, eyes wide with terror. Selene, no. Chioma screams. It's a trap, you stupid girl, run. But Park Choi is already emerging from the shadows. Middle-aged, businessman handsome. Smiling like this is a pleasant dinner party. Ms. Adegoke. Punctual. I appreciate that. He gestures and 2 men grab Selene, forcing her to her knees. Your friend is free to go. A deal is a deal. Don't you dare. Chioma is sobbing. Selene, why did you? Because I love you, Omomi, Selene says in Yoruba, tears streaming. Because you're my sister. Because some things matter more than survival. Choi nods to his men. They cut Chioma's bonds, drag her toward the stairs. She fights, screaming Selene's name, but they force her down. And Selene is alone with a monster. Now then. Choi crouches before her, produces a knife that catches dim light like captured malice. Let's discuss what you saw that night. In detail. Before I send your head to Kang as a reminder about territory and respect. The knife moves toward her face. Then the wall explodes. Not metaphorically. Literally. C4 charges blow through brick and metal, and through the smoke and chaos comes Kang Min-ho, covered in blood that isn't his, gun raised, eyes absolutely feral with rage. Get away from her, he says quietly. Choi straightens, laughing. Or what? You'll kill me? We're surrounded by my men, Kang. You're good, but... Min-ho shoots him. Send her mass. Twice. Clinical. Efficient. Choi drops, blood spreading beneath him, shock frozen on his dying face. I don't negotiate with people who touch what's mine, Min-ho says to the corpse. Then he's at Selene's side, cutting her bonds, checking her for injuries with desperate hands. Are you hurt? Did he? I'm fine. I'm fine. She's shaking, adrenaline crashing. Chioma. Safe. Jihan has her. His hands frame her face and his expression is devastation. You left the vehicle. You walked into a trap. You could have died. I saved my friend. You destroyed me. It erupts from him, rage and fear and love tangled into something raw. Watching you walk into that building, knowing what Choi would do, being too far away to stop you. His voice breaks. Selene, I can survive anything except losing you. Anything. Don't ever do that again. I can't promise that, she says honestly. I can't promise to always choose safety over love. That's not who I am. I know. He pulls her against him and she feels him shaking. This controlled man, undone by emotion. I know, and it terrifies me, and I love you for it, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to keep you safe from your own courage. They hold each other in a warehouse full of bodies, surrounded by gin smoke and the evidence of violence. Should be horrifying. Instead, it feels like survival. Like truth. Like the dark romance they've chosen actually surviving its first real test. Take me home, Selene whispers. Take me home and hold me and don't let go. Never, Min-ho promises. Never again. The penthouse at 4 a.m. Selene stands under scalding shower water, watching blood, Choi's blood, transferred from Min-ho's clothes, spiral down the drain. Her hands won't stop shaking. She killed no one tonight. But she witnessed death. Real violence. The true cost of loving a man whose empire runs on blood. When she finally emerges, wrapped in Min-ho's robe, he's on the balcony. Still in his blood-stained shirt, staring at Seoul like he's trying to find answers in neon and darkness. She joins him. They stand in silence. Chioma is safe, he finally says. I have her in a secure location with medical attention. She can go home tomorrow. Thank you. She hates me. Told me I ruined your life. That you were better before you met me. His voice is hollow. She's right. She's terrified and traumatized, Selene counters. She'll understand eventually. Will she? Min-ho turns to face her. Will you? Because tonight you saw the truth. I killed a man in front of you. Didn't hesitate. Didn't feel remorse. Just calculated the most efficient way to eliminate a threat and executed it. He laughs bitterly. That's who I am. A man who uses words like executed literally. Selene steps closer. You saved my life. And Chioma's life. And you did what had to be done. That's not absolution. I'm not offering absolution. Her hands rest on his chest, right over his heart. She can feel it beating, fast, human, alive. I'm offering acceptance. I see you, Min-ho. The genius and the killer. The gentleman and the monster. The man who calculates death probabilities and the man who just spent 3 minutes checking if I was hurt before dealing with his own injuries. She points to his shoulder where blood is seeping through his shirt. A bullet grazed he hasn't acknowledged. You're bleeding. It's minor. It's a bullet wound. The fire returns. Sit down right now and let me fix this. Something in his expression softens. You're yelling at me. You got shot protecting me? I'm allowed to yell. You sound like a wife. The word hangs between them, huge, impossible, terrifying. Would that be so bad? Selene asks quietly. Min-ho stares at her. You're asking if marrying a criminal would be bad? I'm asking if building a life with you, complicated, dangerous, imperfect, would be bad. She meets his eyes. Because I love you. Completely. The math genius and the mafia boss. The man who hesitated in an alley and the man who didn't hesitate to kill for me. I love all of you, Min-ho. And if you'll have me, with all my stubbornness and impulsiveness and terrible decision-making, I'll stay. For a long moment he's utterly still. Then he kisses her, desperate, consuming, like he's trying to merge their souls. When they break apart, he rests his forehead against hers. I don't deserve you. Probably not. I'm a catch. He laughs, actual laughter, rare and beautiful. You're impossible. I'm Nigerian. It's genetic. I love you, he says seriously. More than strategy. More than survival. More than the empire I spent 15 years building. You're the first thing I valued more than control. Then let me clean your wound, you stubborn man. She drags him inside, forces him to sit, and tends to his injury with the gentle efficiency of someone who's watched too many Nigerian mothers handle household crises. He watches her work, and his expression is something she's never seen before. Peace. Marry me, he says suddenly. Selene's hands still. What? Marry me? Not now. I'll do it properly with your family's blessing and whatever traditional Yoruba ceremonies your mother demands. But eventually, when this war is finished, when I can offer you something other than danger. His hand catches hers. Marry me, Selene Adegoke. Let me spend my life trying to deserve you. She should say it's too fast, too crazy, too dangerous. Instead she says, yes. And the billionaire mafia boss, who hasn't smiled genuinely in 15 years, grins like he's just won everything that matters. But happy endings aren't earned easily, especially in the underworld. The next morning, Min-ho's phone erupts with calls. Jihan arrives at the penthouse with news that makes even his controlled expression tighten with concern. Choi's organization is fragmenting, he reports. But his second-in-command, Park Sung-min, Choi's younger brother, is consolidating power. And he's declared blood vendetta. Let him, Min-ho says coldly. I'll handle. There's more. Jihan pulls up a video on his tablet. This was sent to every major crime organization in Seoul. He presses play. The video shows Selene, captured from security footage, entering the warehouse last night. Her face. Her brave, stupid rescue attempt. And Sung-min's voice over the footage. This woman brought down my brother. Kang Min-ho's weakness. Anyone who delivers her to me alive will receive 100 million won and territory rights in Gangnam. The video ends. Selene feels the blood drain from her face. 100 million won. For her. Suddenly she's not just a witness, she's the most valuable target in Seoul's criminal underworld. How many organizations operate in Seoul? She asks quietly. 12 major ones, Jihan answers. 43 minor operations. So approximately 55 groups are now hunting me. Yes. The word is simple. The reality is catastrophic. Min-ho stands abruptly. We leave Korea. Tonight. I have resources in Singapore, Dubai, New York. No. Selene's voice is firm. I'm not running. I have a life here. A business. Friends. I won't let some revenge-obsessed crime lord make me disappear. Selene, be reasonable. You be reasonable. Fire meets ice again. You promised me a life together. Running forever isn't a life, it's hiding. And I didn't survive last night just to spend the rest of my existence looking over my shoulder. Then what do you suggest? Min-ho's frustration is palpable. I can protect you in my territory. But the moment you leave my sight, any one of 55 organizations could. So end the threat. She says it calmly. Not by killing me. Not by running. By eliminating Sung-min and making an example that anyone who threatens what's yours forfeits everything they have. Jihan blinks. She's suggesting we go to war. Total war, Selene clarifies. You're Kang Min-ho. You control this city's real power. So use it. Show everyone what happens when they threaten your woman. Make me untouchable not through hiding but through absolute dominance. The suggestion is bold. Ruthless. Absolutely in character for a stubborn Nigerian woman who refuses to be a victim. Min-ho stares at her and slowly, very slowly, a smile spreads across his face. Not gentle. Not kind. The smile of a predator recognizing its perfect mate. You want me to start a war for you. I want you to finish this. Permanently. So we can actually build the life you proposed last night. She steps closer. You said I make you feel things you eliminated from your psychology. Well, I also bring out your most dangerous instincts. So channel them. Not to protect me like I'm fragile, but to stand beside me like I'm your equal. You're not my equal, Min-ho says quietly. You're better. Braver. More willing to risk everything for the people you love. His hand cups her face. But if you want war, I'll give you war. Total. Absolute. Merciless. He turns to Jihan. Call the council. Every lieutenant, every associate, every person who benefits from our protection. Emergency meeting. Tonight. What are you going to tell them? Min-ho's smile is blade sharp. That anyone who touches Selene Adegoke dies. Their organizations burn. Their families are exiled. Their names become warnings. He looks at Selene. I'm going to make you the most protected woman in Seoul by making you the most dangerous person to threaten. It's not romantic. It's not gentle. It's absolutely perfect. When this is over, Selene says, we're having a normal date. Dinner. Movie. No one tries to kill me. Deal. Min-ho kisses her, quick, possessive, promising. After I burn down everyone who dared put a price on your head. And the billionaire mafia boss goes to war. The meeting takes place in a private club that officially doesn't exist. Underground. Exclusive. Where Seoul's real power brokers gather to divide territories and avoid authorities. Min-ho enters with Selene at his side, a statement in itself. He's dressed in full armor, three-piece suit, Patek Philippe, the expression of a man who has never lost and never will. She's in emerald green again, gold jewelry, natural hair and an intricate updo that took 3 hours. They look like royalty. Dangerous, beautiful royalty. The room falls silent as they enter. 12 organizations represented. Old men who've controlled Seoul's underworld for decades. Young bosses who built empires on tech and innovation. Everyone who matters. And they're all staring at the Nigerian woman who brought down Park Choi. Min-ho doesn't sit. He stands at the head of the table, Selene beside him, and speaks with devastating calm. Park Sung-min declared vendetta against this woman. 100 million won for her capture. Any of you tempted by that number should leave now. Because I'm about to explain why touching her is suicide. No one moves. Good. Then listen carefully. His voice drops, becomes something colder. Selene Adegoke is under my absolute protection. Not as an asset. Not as leverage. As my chosen partner. The woman I will marry. An attack on her is an attack on me. And I respond to attacks with total destruction. He pauses, letting it sink in. Yesterday Park Choi learned this lesson. I killed him personally. No negotiation. No mercy. His organization is fractured. His properties are being absorbed by my people as we speak. His legacy will be a warning about the price of threatening what's mine. One of the old bosses, Kim, a man who's controlled Seoul's docks for 40 years, speaks up. With respect, Kang Min-ho, you're asking us to forfeit 100 million won and potentially offend Sung-min for a woman. That's sentiment. Sentiment is weakness. Is it? Min-ho's smile could cut glass. Let me make a counteroffer. Any organization that refuses Sung-min's bounty and respects my protection receives favorable trade terms for the next year. Reduced tribute. First access to new opportunities. Partnership with the most profitable operation in Seoul. He leans forward. But anyone who accepts Sung-min's offer? I dismantle your organization brick by brick. I freeze your assets. I expose your operations to authorities. I make you wish you'd chosen differently. So what's your choice? Short-term bounty and permanent destruction, or long-term prosperity and my goodwill? The room is silent. Then Kim laughs, dry, appreciative. You've thought this through. I think everything through. It's why I win. And Sung-min? I'll handle Sung-min. Min-ho's voice promises violence. But I need to know, is anyone in this room stupid enough to chase his bounty? One by one the bosses shake their heads. The math is simple. 100 million won versus total destruction. It's not even a choice. Then we have a chord. Min-ho straightens. Selene Adegoke is untouchable. Spread the word. Anyone who didn't receive this message personally will learn it through example. He takes Selene's hand. Meeting adjourned. They walk out together, and the silence behind them is the silence of predators recognizing something more dangerous. Outside, Selene exhales shakily. That was terrifying. Min-ho offers. Hot. She grins. You're very attractive when you're threatening entire crime organizations. He laughs, that rare genuine sound. You're insane. And you love me for it. Desperately. But they both know the real threat remains. Sung-min. The blood vendetta. The man who won't be swayed by economics or threats. That requires something more permanent. Sung-min makes his move 3 nights later. He's smart. Waited until Min-ho's attention seemed elsewhere, until security rotations created a brief window. He attacks Min-ho's secondary office in Itaewon. Not the penthouse. Not the obvious target. But Min-ho predicted this. Because he thinks like his enemies. When Sung-min's team breaches the office, expecting to find documents or leverage, they find Min-ho instead. Waiting. Come. With 20 of his best men positioned throughout the building. The firefight is brief. Brutal. Efficient. When the smoke clears, Sung-min is alive, barely. Wounded. Surrounded. All his men dead or captured. Min-ho approaches him slowly. You killed 6 of my people tonight. Destroyed property worth 30 million won. All for what? Revenge that won't bring your brother back. Honor? Sung-min spits blood. You murdered him. I'm honor-bound. Your brother kidnapped an innocent woman. Threatened to torture and kill her. He violated every code we operate by. Min-ho crouches to Sung-min's level. I gave him chances to retreat. He chose pride over survival. Now you're choosing the same. So kill me. Prove you're the monster everyone says. No. Min-ho stands. I'm going to offer you something your brother never earned. A choice. Walk away. Leave Seoul. Take whatever resources I don't confiscate and rebuild somewhere else. Or stay and I'll do to you what I did to Choi, eliminate you as an example. That's not a choice. That's exile. That's survival. More than your brother got. Sung-min stares at him with hate-filled eyes. But beneath the hatred, Selene, watching via live feed from the secure location Min-ho insisted she stay in, sees something else. Understanding. The recognition that Min-ho could kill him but is choosing mercy. Why? Sung-min asks. Why let me live? Because the woman I love asked me to end this war, not perpetuate it. Because she believes in redemption over revenge. Because she's better than me and I'm trying to deserve her. Min-ho's expression softens slightly. Your brother was my enemy. You're just a man who loved his family. I can respect that. So I'm offering peace. Take it or die. The silence stretches. Then Sung-min nods. Exile. I'll leave Korea. Smart choice. Min-ho signals his men. They take Sung-min away wounded but alive. The vendetta ends not with more blood, but with the mercy of a man learning to be more than his worst instincts. Later, back at the penthouse, Selene throws her arms around Min-ho with fierce pride. You let him live. You asked me to end this without unnecessary death. I found a way. He holds her close. Though my reputation as a merciless killer probably took a hit. Your reputation as a man who listens to his woman just improved dramatically. Is that what matters? To me? Yes. She pulls back to look at him. You're still dangerous. Still ruthless when necessary. But you're also capable of mercy. Of choosing me over your worst impulses. That's the man I'm going to marry. Min-ho's smile is genuine. When should we tell your mother? After she recovers from the heart attack of learning her daughter is marrying a Korean billionaire who happens to run the underworld. Fair point. They laugh together and it's easy. Natural. The kind of intimacy that comes from surviving impossible odds and choosing each other anyway.